Okay, we need to prep this thing to get it ready to line it up. I need to weld the part on that's going to hold the burner in. So I need to move that out of the way. I need to clean this up so I can weld to it. That's the outside. You don't want no burrs on there to catch you. Clean this up so we can weld it on here. We have to figure out what angle we need that at real quick. All right, I got it ground down, cleaned up. We're gonna weld it to the furnace there and get it ready to pour the refractory into it. Be right back as soon as I do that. All right, we got the spout screw, whatever you want to call it, on there. Really didn't have to put that on there. All we had to do was cut a hole so that the burner would fit through there, but I wanted something to kind of hold the burner up, you know. I mean, you could bring it in like that. You see, you can depend on the refractory, and I didn't want to mess up the refractory. But anyway, it's not the best looking weld in the world. It's pretty globbed up, but it'll hold. There's no such thing as a bad weld as long as it holds, right? So what'll happen is I got a piece of PVC I'm going to stick through here, and it's going to be cut to fit the insert that I have. I may go get a piece of cardboard tubing to go in here. I'm not sure I want to use a piece of metal, but anyway, it goes in there like that, and then you put the refractory down in there. Debating if I want to cut it off where it'll be even, and I could just set something on it to hold it in place. But as you can see, the refractory on the bottom isn't quite level. But we get it centered, it'll be alright. And then you just like make the refractory really thick and then jam it down in there with a board or something. I've already got the stuff to do it. I got some perlite right there. I got some play sand there. I used a little bit of it to put in the baby's Bebop, my granddaughter. She's got one of those little boxing clown things, only this one's like a gorilla. And then I have some Quikrete Portland cement. I don't know if you can read that through the plastic there. I got it covered up so it doesn't get messed up. So those are your three things, and that bag right there, that is fire clay, basically crushed up fire brick. You mix them up. Two of them get 2 parts, and 2 of them get 1.5 parts. And I think they changed the formula on me because it used to be something like 2 parts to 1.5 to 1.5 to 1.5. I don't know. It might not have changed. It might just be me. But yeah. So I need to also put some handles on this, and that way I can move it around. See, because I've got handles on the lid. But I want to use something different. I want to use something a little heavier for here because that thin rebar would just pull through. So I need to find something else to put handles on here with, so I can lift it and move it. And I also have a dolly around here somewhere that I think it's around front, that I can use to put it on if I need to move it around. I don't want to weld it to nothing like that because the heat would just melt the tires off of it anyway. But anyway, let me see what I can find to put handles on here with. If nothing else, we'll come back tomorrow and start mixing the refractory if it's a nice day. If it's too cold or if it's rainy, I won't make the refractory because the refractory won't set up right and it might ooze in around the bottom down there. And that's something else too. I want to make sure that's sealed at the bottom. So I may put some silicone caulking around in there. I got to clean it up where somebody put something in there that wasn't supposed to be. But I'll clean it up and silicone caulk it or something so that it won't leak back into the center there, down in there. Yeah, it's been sitting a little while, but yeah, let me see what I can do about the handles for this thing, and then we'll come back tomorrow and do the refractory, or one day when it's nice. Welcome to the Rusty Forge. Well, this is my slop weld. Good and sturdy. I've got it ground down so that it doesn't catch your fingers. On this side, it's not the best looking weld in the world, but it'll hold. I turned it over and the bottom fell out. I guess I didn't put anything in the bottom of it to hold it in there, but I think it'll be alright. I'll just slide it back down in there. And before I put the refractory on the sides, I'll weld a couple of tits around the edges to hold it in there so that it doesn't fall out, which I don't plan on turning it upside down anyway, but yeah. So she's about ready for refractory. I got to get a piece of PVC to go in here, and I still haven't been to Lowe's to grab the cardboard tube. I'll probably do that today. Today is Sunday. They close at 6, so I have to get over there sooner or later. Anyway, onwards and upwards. Okay, we're here on my back porch again. This is the formula we're going to be using for the refractory. The first couple of cups right here are sand, fire clay, perlite, and Portland cement. These 2 cups are half a cups. You want to use 2 parts sand, 2 parts fire clay, 1.5 parts perlite, and 1.5 parts Portland. Now those are just little cheap old red Solo cups here, and man, they've gotten cheap. They crack if you barely squeeze them. But anyway, this is just the formula. This isn't how much I'm going to mix. I'm probably going to mix 10 times this amount to make the refractory for the new furnace. But this is just the basis for it. If you were going to mix a huge amount, you know, you might want to use gallon cans or a 5-gallon bucket. So if you needed that much, you'd have 2 5-gallon buckets of sand, 2 5-gallon buckets of fire clay, 1.5 buckets of perlite, 1.5 of Portland, and you mix them all together. Then you add water to it, and you want to get it kind of stiff so that you can pack it in. You don't want to pour it in there because then it'll just be too wet and it'll take a long time to dry, and it loses strength when you do that, and sometimes the ingredients separate in the mix, so you want it kind of stiff, and so to hold its form, and you can just tap it in there with a stick or some kind of little primer, and after it sets up, it's cured pretty good. But yeah, this is the formula right here. Again, that's 2 parts sand, 2 parts fire clay, these two here, perlite 1.5, Portland 1.5. Problem here with the camera. Anyway, had to stop to put the PVC pipe in. I'm packing this with refractory. This is about half a bucket here, and we're going to stop and pack some refractory around this PVC pipe. You might want to wear gloves doing this. Cement can cause you to get skin blisters. Alright, we want that to be firm up against the tube. That's what I meant by packing it in there, rammed it in there. I'm using a 2x4. I made this bass a little wetter, which was in the bottom of the bucket, because of making it hard to mix. I add a little more water to it. It's a little bit more juicy. Now, if you're going to weld little tits in here to hold the refractory in, you'll have to use something skinnier than a 2x4. Put the refractory in and ram it in. Put the rest of this in and pack it down good. Now this is half a bucket of half a 5-gallon bucket of refractory. That was made from about 6 cups of sand, 6 cups of fire clay, 6 cups of sand, 6 cups of fire clay, and about 4.5 cups of Portland and 4.5 cups of perlite. Don't need no extra bunks down in here. A little bit of loose sand in here. So I'm gonna have to mix about that again. That much again. Let's push this around here and cover this pipe. Now you can drill holes in your, where your what do you call it, where your burner's gonna go, and thread and, you know, tap them and put bolts in them to hold your burner in place if you want. But I just as soon just let the weight of the burner hold itself in place. It's not going to go that far in there anyway. Plus my burner fits pretty tight. If yours doesn't fit tight like mine, then you probably need to tap it and thread it and stuff and put bolts in it so you can hold your burner in place. See, that's a lot wetter than I wanted it, but I had to get that thick stuff out the bottom. Alright, we're going to mix up some more and we'll come back. Hopefully another half bucket will finish it off. Alright, I got it all poured. It actually took a full 5-gallon bucket of refractory to fill this bad boy up. I'm just using an old sponge to kind of smooth it off on top. That way the lid will sit on it tight. Alright. Make sure it ain't no refractory that'll stick on the inside of that. Once this cures up, we can just light a fire inside of it, or put the furnace in the burner in there and burn the cardboard tubing out. So we're gonna let this sit for a couple of days to cure up, and in the meantime I'll get cleaned up and hopefully it'll look nice when we get done. It's been curing for about a week. I come out here and uncover it, and look how thick this is on this side compared to this side. I think it might have shifted some. I don't see where it shifted on the inside. I think the top just kind of warped because it's cardboard. It's meant to put the concrete on the inside, not the outside. But I think it's alright. My crucible still fits in here. It gives me room to put tongs in there to get it out. It's high enough, it covers it, and I can have room for a block or something underneath the crucible. But I'm going to go ahead and remove the pipe out of it today and see if I can burn this cardboard out. Hell, I might can pull it out. I still need to fire it before I use it. It's slowly bringing up the temperature so it doesn't crack all up when I'm using it for the first time. It's heavier, 40 billion, whatever. It's heavy. I'd say it weighs at least 100 pounds, if not more. Let's see, I got my channel locks out here. Let's see if they'll be big enough to fit on this pipe. You gotta remember, it's cement on the inside. There we go. Let's see what we see in here. Hello. Anyway, there's a hole on the inside of this shit, so I'm gonna see if I can rip this out with my pliers. Alright, got you on the tripod now. Let me see what I can do. I might can peel this out. It's soggy from the moisture from the concrete, so I don't know. Let's see if this will help to twist it. Sorry if my head's in the way. This will need some touch up on the inside. I can see that in here. Not that I'm worried about it too much. Yeah, maybe the big holes, not the little holes. This is wet anyway, it's not going to burn when it's wet, although I'll make it burn with the burner, propane burner. There we go, got most of it out. Alright, let's see if I can show you what's going on in here. You see right in here some holes. I might mix up a little batch of refractory and pack those holes, but I'm not too worried about the rest of it. You can see the burner hole right there. That's the burner hole right there. That's where the burner's going to come through. So I'm going to let it cure like this for a couple of more days, and then we'll start bringing it up to temperature to force the moisture out. It went from being 70 degrees here to 50, so I got my coat on today. I don't know if you can see that, my blue coat. But I'm still in shorts, so. But yeah. So move on to the next project until that's cured up.